Hi, hello, and welcome to news analysis of 9th October 2022 of The Hindu. So, the first article we are going to see is Nobel Prize for Physics. So, the three persons have been given Nobel Prize for Physics. Their names are not important, but their works are really important from the UPSC perspective. So, they have been given Nobel Prize for their work in quantum entanglement. So, it is really important for us to understand what does this quantum entanglement mean. Quantum entanglement means aspect of one particle will depend on other particle. So let us understand this clearly. So normally in the computers they work upon the binary digits 1 1 or 1 0 and so on. So quantum entanglement means if one is present here, then other's position is fixed here. For example, if say the 1 is here, some systems have the 1 is here, then 0 they fix 0 or 1 here. For example, let us understand this from our perspective. So if we are in the New York, if say you are in India, then your friend is in foreign country, this is fixed. That is, we are trying to understand this, that is your fixing. So suppose one person knows you are in India, then automatically your friend should be in the other countries, that is fixed. Now say suppose you are not in India, then other person will know that your friend is not in the other country. That is, depending on your position, you are fixing the position of your friend. That is, depending upon this position 1, you are fixing here as 1 or 0. You are fixing it. That is the quantum entanglement. So what does this do? Quantum entanglement, it helps in performing the operations in supercomputers. Depending upon the state of this will automatically get fixed. So the machines need not work on this, so time will be reduced. In this way the speed will increase. So do not worry about if you do not understand this. I have tried to explain it clearly, but if you did not understand it, do not worry, as this is technical concept, this will not be asked. So just get the idea of quantum entanglement. Now the principle of superposition also will be there. Now if you go to UPSC prelims 2022 paper, there was a question on qubit. So this qubit concept is related to the quantum computers concept. So in this perspective, quantum entanglement is important. What do you mean by quantum entanglement? It is important. So now next, let us move to next news article, that is this one, that is regarding the OPEC plus. So news article is not important. Here you need to see the difference between OPEC and OPEC plus. Please try to recall the countries which have added to the OPEC to become OPEC plus. So the countries are Russia, the Mexico and Kazakhstan. So these are the countries which have added to OPEC to become OPEC plus. This is important from police perspective. Next article is regarding the Gaddis and Gujars. Article is not important, but you need to understand the Gaddis and Gujars. These actually belong to the Jammu and Kashmir, and these actually belong to the primitive vulnerable tribal groups. UPSC is asking primitive vulnerable tribal groups, and UPSC is asking questions on the tribes. So from this perspective, this is important. Next, restriction go up in smoke as firecracker sales continually. This really is not important, but is important from the environmental perspective. Recently in mains 2020, UPSC has given question regarding the environmental cases. So what Supreme Court has done, through which cases Supreme Court has brought environmental jurisdiction, the question was there. So in that perspective, MC Mehta case was important, and various other cases were there, such as the various other cases were there. Vellore citizens case, then you will have the what you call it as the Niyamgiri experience case. So you can write those. So try to write in the comment section about the cases. Next we have another important article. This is a really important article because many questions in the UPSC prelims have popped out from this, and this is deadly important concept from the anthropology side, people who are studying anthropology. So let us understand this. Does paleogenomics explain our origins? So first we need to understand what is paleogenomics. So paleogenomics means trying to give genetics to the paleontological studies, that is trying to study the DNA, trying to study the human body features, anatomical features from the fossils. That is called as paleogenomics. So what questions have popped out in the prelims examination? First question is Denisovan. This was actually important, and this has its base in the paleontology. Next, the 2022 prelims has given a question on the Levant. So this Levant actually is in the Eastern Mediterranean region. Actually, in Eastern Mediterranean region, there were many happenings going on, and recently there was discovery of Natufian culture in the Eastern Mediterranean region. From this perspective, this was important. So if you need to understand this well, read this in the newspaper and try to understand from the anthropological perspective. So let us see something what happened here. So Nobel Prize for Physiology was given to Pablo. Why was Nobel Prize given to him? Nobel Prize was given to him because he was the first person who tried to study the fossils from the biological perspective, that is from the genomic perspective, from the DNA perspective. He was able to study. So what did he do? Normally the human cell consists of a nucleus and consists of mitochondria, and the DNA is present in the nucleus as well as in the mitochondria. Again, the question on UPSC prelims on mitochondria was asked many times. On the nucleus cloning question was asked. So that's the reason why this detailed study of this article is very important. Now the DNA is present in the nucleus as well as in the mitochondria. The nuclear DNA is actually variable, because when you give birth to the children, they will have somewhat different DNA from this DNA, but the DNA which is present in the mitochondria is really very negligible, and it will be varied only if mutations occur in the environment. So only if mutations occur, the mitochondrial DNA is variable. So people try to understand, the people who study fossil try to understand this variation in the fossils from the mitochondrial perspective. That is variation. Say suppose you have Neanderthals and suppose you have Homo sapiens. If you want to study the differences between them, you cannot study through this nucleus. You can study through the DNA of mitochondria. So in this way, these persons, that is Pablo, has what he has done is he has studied the mitochondrial DNA of the fossils and has found a close relationship between the Neanderthals as well as the humans. That is, the humans have actually 1 to 4% of the Neanderthal genes. This was the discovery. So if you like the explanation and article, please subscribe to the channel, and please let us know how was the video in the comments.